Bear in mind, the Jatu are very, very difficult to deal with when they are allowed to charge, as you can see right there, but I guess we just have to allow them to do so, and we'll see how we do. Oh. That's how we're gonna do then, apparently. Hello Reformers, and welcome back to Pendor. Now, when we left off, I went to the wrong town to find the guy that sells the elixirs. Yeah, that wasn't great, was it? Anyway, let's go into the tavern and actually see if he's still here. He apparently is not still here. That is not good. But I did find a couple of units, I guess. A couple of maiden scouts. They can level up into some pretty decent units. There is a tournament going on here. I think I'm actually going to do this. I'm not going to show every single round. I'm going to show the first round, and then I might show one of the later rounds, as this is one of the most annoying places to do a tournament, and there's a reason for that. I think you can see exactly why that is. There is, however, a, well, relatively nice alternative, I guess you could say, to the main primary weapon that you're mostly given here, and that is, of course, a club. The worst weapon, obviously, is throwing weapons for me. So let's not get ourselves killed, shall we? There we go. There's a maiden ranger. Wow, I'm actually kind of surprised the maiden ranger was so easy to take out, because usually they're very difficult. But at least my well, technically I'm already through, I guess, because I think if you get eliminated in the first round, it doesn't really matter, but you know, after that you do need to get a couple of kills and everything. So yeah, this is actually kind of a mess. Everyone is having a very, very difficult time eliminating anything. Ah, there's the reason. There's the reason. There's a whole bunch of green team members over here just being like, yes, we're going to be annoying. I'm going to dismount, actually, because my horse is almost dead, and it would be a pretty bad disadvantage to get, you know, taken off my mount, and technically that would open me up to a lot of damage. So let's just... oh yes, maiden adventurer. They're all very low HP, which is kind of amusing and kind of awesome for me, but yeah, there we go. Wow, if only this was Floris, or one of the mods that is based on Floris, because I'd be getting a huge amount of bonus experience and gold right now just by eliminating a whole bunch of people. Oh well, never mind. Maybe we'll play a mod like that in the future, who knows. Anyway, I think we're done. I think we're done here. I mean, I don't see any... ah, there's one. Oh, there's a lot of the blue team as well. It seems like the blue team has also had a bit of a weird setup kind of going on, and this actually... you know what? You know what, blue team? I'm just gonna back away slowly here real quick, because I have a horse to get to. Let's run. Run, get to the horse. Yes, okay, get on this one. There we go. Alright, so now, is there a shield that I can pick up? Doesn't seem like anyone has a shield that is spare here. This is bad. Well, there's one. There's one eliminated, and can I get the others? That's the thing. Wow, there are... nah, I don't think this is gonna work. It might. As we continue to take them out, will I survive? That is the biggest question of the day. It's actually not out of our reach at the moment. I actually would have expected it to be out of our reach much... Yep, that was my bad. Oh well, never mind. I should have very easily taken a bit of a sharper corner there and tried to avoid getting hit in the face by that throwing weapon. But anyway, I'm going to fight in the next couple of rounds. It's going to take a bit of time, and I'll see you if I actually make it to the later ones. Alright, so you can kind of guess what transpired while we were participating in the tournament. I eventually came up against a very, very high-statted opponent by the name of Vesmora, and she was able to very easily take us out, especially considering I got spawned with a bow, and when you get spawned with a bow and some arrows, you don't get a shield. And so... yeah, it was kind of a foregone conclusion. Anyway, what we are now witness to is a battle between one of the Noldor groups in the Larian Woods. Yes, I've traveled all that way because, yeah, I found another traveler and they told me where Phineas is. Phineas is currently at Valenbray, and Valenbray is obviously a Fyhrr town, and we're currently at war against them. Yeah, isn't that great? Anyway, we're going to help the Noldor against Cleon something? I don't know what his name is. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's not going to matter in a couple of minutes, because we are going to murder him. Yes, or at least we're going to try our very best to do so. And yeah, this is going to be kind of amusing, because obviously we do have the Noldor on our side, and hopefully they are going to maybe abide by what I'm going to tell them to do, perhaps? Who knows? Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But yeah, this is a pretty nice even battle as well, because I think Cleon has about 170 or so units, and the Noldor party that we're helping has about 80. So I basically just stumbled across them because I thought to myself, maybe we should try fighting the Jatu army again, because we actually have a full party, and if Lethal Durin comes back while we have a full party, then the Noldor units that he brings with him will go to waste, and that would be awful. That would be absolutely atrocious. So we're going to try our very, very best here. Anyway, let's have a look and see where the enemies are coming from. Seems like they're coming from over here. This is a weird battlefield. I've not really fought on a very mountainous battlefield in a long, long time. So us having a huge amount of different hills and things to, you know, climb and all that stuff is not great. Ah, wow. Okay, that was not good. This is partially the reason why I would love to have like slightly magical items, so that maybe there'd be like a healing ring, for example, or maybe some kind of, I don't know, some kind of item that would maybe give me... What? They are crazy. Okay, so Cleon apparently is a lord that employs the Radiant Cross to help him out, and let's say that, well, the Radiant Cross are actually very good at what they do, and I guess we're actually just going to charge straight on in there. I'm going to take the... this is the thing. I've taken so much damage now that it's basically pointless for me to take the cavalry with me, but it might make sense for us to try and eliminate those Plague Wardens, because they are going to be extremely damaging to us if we don't do something about it. Never mind. Doesn't seem to make any difference, but at least we have kind of... Look at that. There we go. We led our cavalry into a pretty nice charge there. Unfortunately, most of our cavalry did get stopped in their tracks, and you can see exactly the reason why these Radiant Cross Plague Wardens are feared, very, very much so, because they have these insane crossbows. And I think the crossbows were the main reason why I took super amounts of damage at the very beginning of this fight. I'm not going to lose this battle, I don't think, but it is going to be costly, very, very costly indeed. As you can see, most of the units that are dying right now are mine, and they are not the Noldor. The Noldor are not losing that many at all, and even if they do, who cares? They're just NPCs. They don't really mind. You know, they'll be able to recuperate their forces pretty quickly, whereas I'm not really able to do that. I did actually, by the way, around my travels, I did actually find a couple of Barclay units, and I don't know whether you saw, but one of them actually did just get killed, which is not great either. But, you know, it's kind of nice to find those units, because, you know, Barclay, they're actually pretty good, you know. When they level up, they can be very, very solid units. Anyway, there you go. That was a very, very easy fight, but I didn't really participate at all, which is kind of a shame, and the Noldor really didn't take any casualties whatsoever. Oh, he had 157, yeah, there you go. And Adiz is with us now, by the way. I don't know whether I mentioned that, but I found Adiz in a tavern. He left a long, long time ago, and now he's back, so... yes, hopefully he'll help us out a little bit. Anyway, we've improved our relation with the Noldor a little bit more. And, oh yeah, there's also a reason why I'm actually helping the Noldor against the Empire here. And that is because they declared war against the Kingdom of Sarlian. So we are, well, by we I mean the Kingdom of Sarlian is currently at war against, I believe, the Ravenstern, the Fyhrr, and now the Empire. I think the only thing that they're not at war against are the Dashar. I think that is literally the only one. So that's a bit of a worry, isn't it? Anyway, oh yes, I should also mention that I did let go Coninger Valdis. I let him go, and he basically only had two options. Unfortunately, I could not get his unique weapon for some reason. Basically, he had two options. One was, you know, I can give you 26,000 and then you can let me go, or you can just let me go. And I took the just letting him go, and I gained some honor and some relation with him, and that is it. So, yeah, a bit disappointing, really, because I actually thought that we'd get his unique weapon, but maybe he doesn't have one, or maybe it just wasn't possible at the time. Anyway, we're going to let this guy go, and we're going to see if... Oh, look at that! Everyone is equipping new gear. Very nice indeed. I very much appreciate seeing that. A heavy crossbow. Now, this heavy crossbow is insane. Personally, this heavy crossbow would be pretty awesome to use if we were not wanting to use a regular bow, and I don't really want to take any... Should I take some additional... Fine, I'll just take all the loot as much as I can, at least. And we'll head onward, I guess. Alright, well, I hadn't really planned on attacking the Marauding Jatu Army in this episode, but they kind of came across my path, and I did recruit a couple of mercenaries from the nearby tavern as well. And by that, I mean I spoke to a ransom broker, and, oh yes, we should probably get ourselves a little bit organized here, shall we? Anyway, let's tell my cavalry to follow me. Where are my cavalry? All the way over there? Okay, well, that's absolutely fine. This is going to be a bit interesting, isn't it? Bear in mind, the Jatu are very, very difficult to deal with when they are allowed to charge, as you can see right there, but I guess we just have to allow them to do so, and we'll see how we do. Oh, that's how we're gonna do then, apparently. Alright, so let's try this again, shall we? But with the added help of some Noldor. Oh yes. Now, I think thanks to one of you in the comments that actually said that companions do take up to a month to return in Pendor. And yeah, in other mods it's usually about 2 weeks, so obviously that's the reason why I was a little bit worried about that. But anyway, he has now returned, and he brought with him 9 Noldor hunters, which will be upgraded into Noldor warriors in just a second. And we have a bunch of Noldor warriors as well, and 2 Noldor rangers. So these technically could level up eventually into all rangers, and you can see how incredible they are. This is the first look that we've obviously had at the stats of the Noldor, because we've never had any of those units ever before. So it's crazy. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. These are just the regular units as well. These are not the noble units or anything like that. So yeah, anyway, I've just been running around here trying to, you know, get some people leveled up and everything, and it's kind of tricky. I mean, you can see here I took a little bit of damage as well, but most of my forces are not necessarily ready for the battle, but I have leveled up, so it might make sense for me to... Oh, I haven't leveled up, never mind. Yes, I forgot about that. Yes, I need to get that potion. So hopefully the next time we find a traveler of some kind, they are going to be able to, you know, direct us in the vague direction of Mr. Phineas, and we will be able to eliminate him. Yeah, you can see, that's my true intention. I really just want to eliminate him. I don't want to speak to him and buy his very useful potion. No. I just want to murder him because he's being so incredibly slippery. Anyway, let's try and get our forces up here, and well, this is actually not actually even that bad, I think. No, this is good. This is very good. Look at this. This is very nice right now. Okay, so my mistakes in the previous battles have basically been that I am too overzealous. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of stick around here, try and do damage to the enemy forces that are close by, and that's it. That's literally all we're going to do, and we're just going to allow the horse archers and everything, you know, the Jatu raiders, we're just going to allow them to do whatever they want, because at the moment they're not even that dangerous. They're not that dangerous. It's only if they get really close that they can actually deal significant damage when they're, you know, right up on us and they can just shoot us in the face. But as it stands right now, we don't really have to worry about them, because they're just going to run around the outside of the map and they're going to try and be, you know, elusive and evasive and all that sort of stuff. But as I say, we don't need to worry about that. I'm just going to be worried about losing those Noldor units now, because those Noldor units are utterly devastating. And if I don't have those, then, well, that's pretty sad. That's pretty sad. Anyway, this is actually going pretty well in our favor right now, and it's all because I did not charge in. And that's usually my main problem when I'm recording. It's kind of hilarious because I play relatively differently when it comes to not recording, because obviously I want to get in the action because it's kind of fun to actually do that on screen. But when I'm off screen, I kind of just command my units a little bit more and just stay back in general, basically, because that's, I mean, yeah, you know, on some levels that is obviously kind of fun, but on other levels it's not exactly entertaining to watch. So yeah, that's the main reason why I do that. Anyway, we are gonna, you know, try to be a little bit more cautious as we go forward against larger parties, because now that we are starting to get into sort of the late game stages of Pendor, it's really going to be very important that we try our best to sustain ourselves and to allow our forces to do the damage that they are hired to do. They're in our army because they're good at what they do, you know? We do not want them to die, and so that's the exact reason why we have to look after them as much as possible and hopefully not lose too many of them in the process. And as we begin to fight unique spawns as well, that's obviously going to be a big deal. So if we ever, you know, come across someone like, you know, the snake cult leader, I can't remember what her name is for some reason, but whoever the snake cult leader is, yeah, she's going to be very difficult for us to tackle. Actually, you know what? I'm actually kind of thinking that maybe I should just retreat right now, because we actually have a pretty decent advantage. Look at that. We gained 50 morale from that, just literally because we were so incredibly efficient with our kills. Look at that. We killed well, didn't kill, but we took out 107. That's very nice. That is really nice. And all of our companions had a little hand in being able to eliminate forces here, which is really nice to see. Anyway, we did lose 15. Did I lose any Noldor? I don't think I saw any Noldor get taken out, so I'm very happy about that. Yep, there we go. No one. No Noldor whatsoever were taken out, which is fantastic. Okay, so we're going to do this in stages, obviously, because in general that's usually the way to go when it comes to the Marauding Army. You know, it's only if you have a very powerful army that you'd be able to do that without obviously getting a sizable environment advantage. In other words, you know, having a massive hill to stand on so that all their cavalry is just going to be useless. So anyway, yeah, I think that's pretty good. I'm going to wait around for a little bit, and then we're going to head in once again, and we're probably going to be able to take them out, because as you can see, they only have 7 warlords remaining, and they do have a couple of battle riders. Hopefully I'll be able to restore myself faster than they are. Well, it turns out that our trainer skill is actually doing a very good job right now. I know that Donovan has, I think, 7 or 8 in trainer right now, so he's obviously being a big contributor to, you know, what we're able to do there. Otherwise, I'm just going to level up Adiz in his combat skills. I don't really think he needs too much else, and we do have Anson here as well. Now, bear in mind that he is going to need, I think, about 12, maybe 10 minimum strength to be able to use the various things that we, you know, want him to use, because he is obviously kind of useless combat-wise unless he does have those strength requirements met, and that's exactly why we're going to level up his strength a little bit. His intelligence is now at 15. I actually did get that to 15 previously. We're going to level up our wound treatment a little bit more as well, because in general he's going to be our medic. I know that a couple of people have suggested taking Leslie instead, and that's true, you know, Leslie is also a medic companion. However, she seemed to have problems with some of our people before, and that's the reason why she left our party. So yeah, I don't exactly know what's going on with that. It seems like my companions at the moment just all hate each other, but it's okay. It's absolutely fine, because we are ready to tackle the Marauding Jatu. Well, technically we're not actually ready, because as you can see, most of my companions are very low in HP, about 40-50% HP, but for the most part, most of my units are ready to fight, and that's when we're going in, because I don't want to fight any additional battle riders or anything like that, because those battle riders, they're very deadly. You know, they can be extremely efficient at what they do. Anyway, we're actually going to take a very tactical stance here. I know, unusual, isn't it, for me? Yes, anyway, yeah, I'm gonna actually, I want to get off my mount, because this is so incredibly slow, but you know what we're gonna do? We're literally gonna go all the way, considering the Jatu are very, very aggressive, and they tend to focus on offense. What we're going to do is we are going to get on top of this hill, and we're going to murder them with archers. Yes, because I have 48 archers at the moment, and that is definitely going to be a big, big deal. So let's place our infantry down there, tell them to stand closer a little bit, tell the cavalry to kind of get out of here somehow, because we want our archers to have as clear a line of sight as possible, because if they don't, we might be in trouble. Who knows? But let's just hopefully get most of our archers in a decent enough position so that they're actually able to deal damage. Come on now. Okay, can you get up here? Yeah, we do have those Noldor warriors. Do remember that. And as soon as they begin to level up into Noldor rangers, we will be, well, I'm not going to say untouchable because that's a bit of a jinx, but we're going to be very, very powerful. And yeah, I'm hopeful that we'll be able to obviously gain access to Elacray, to the Noldor city, and that is obviously going to mean a great deal to our to our progression, to our strength in combat as well. So I'm very, very pleased with what's going on right now, and you can see here, this is exactly what I meant. The enemy doesn't know what to do. They don't know what to do. They can't get up here. They can't get up here without having insane amounts of delay. I'm actually thinking this is a bit cheap, actually. But I guess if you can win in any way, then I guess that's the way to go. I mean, it is technically the way the AI has been coded at the moment, but I guess, yeah. I guess we could just charge them in. I guess we could just charge in at some point, but yeah, maybe we'll just wait until our forces run out of arrows, because I don't really want to run in there right away and then be like, oh, look at that, we just lost another 30 units. That doesn't sound like a very smart thing to do. So I'm just going to wait a little bit. New enemies have arrived. Do bear in mind that we have literally lost 2 units, and that's insane in my opinion. That is absolutely insane. These Larian Sentinels are doing a fantastic job. Did lose one of them now though, and we are losing a couple of them now. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to tell these cavalry to go around the side here. I'm getting shot as well, which is absolutely awful. That is really, really bad. But that was a fantastic, I cannot stress that enough, advantage. Really great. And that's exactly what I meant. If you have a subpar force, which in general, I think if I had gotten this map, if I had this map at the very beginning, against the full Jatu army, I think I probably would have gained a victory almost instantaneously from that. I don't think I would have had to worry about dealing with them at 250 or so units, because this hill, just look at how slow it makes me, and I'm on a Noldor horse. Just bear that in mind. So if you are also having a bit of a struggle with any particular army, and you may think that it's impossible to take on this particular unique army or some other unique spawn, or maybe just a liege of some kind, then what I'd say is the greatest thing you can do, if you have a good amount of archers, obviously this might not work if you only have cavalry or whatever, but if you have a good amount of archers and a little bit of infantry as well to soak a little bit of the damage incoming, then I'd highly recommend trying to find an environment like this, where it forces the enemy's cavalry, and indeed all of the enemy, to do a huge amount of heavy lifting. And they had to run all the way across the map, and obviously this mod, it doesn't incorporate realism elements like stamina and things like that, so we don't really have to worry about running across the entirety of the map, which is great. I'm not a big fan of the stamina elements, but it just says absolutely huge deals in regards to environment and the battlefield layout. And you can see right here, look, that's where our archers are right now, and the enemy had nowhere to hide. They literally have nowhere to hide. This is one of the highest peaks on the map, apart from this one over here. Now, if I was the enemy, I probably would have come over here if I had some archers, which I think the Jatu do. I mean, they obviously do have archers, they have horse archers, but I think I probably would have come over here if I was them, and just tried to win in the archer battle, but I don't think that would have really done much. because we have Noldor. We have Noldor, we have Larian Sentinels. That's all she wrote, basically. That's all she wrote. There you go, 19 renown. I do realize, however, unfortunately, that because we had to take them apart in separate battles, we were unable to achieve the greater level of renown reward that we otherwise would have gotten if we had just gone straight in. And that's a bit of a shame to me. But there's not much I could have done about it. There really isn't much I could have done. Anyway, let's just let people, take a couple of things here, and I'll just take the rest of the loot. I did actually make a brief stop over in Laria to sell some of the extra loot as well, and I'm actually... Oh! I can rescue some Noldor prisoners? Ah, wait a minute. Is that because I have friendly relation with them? I don't exactly know whether that's the case, because as far as I am aware, every single time I've attempted to rescue Noldor, they have not been willing to join me. But that could be because they were technically, quote-unquote, at war against us. So that's amazing. If this is indeed the case, I'm going to run around, try and find a bunch of Jatu armies that have fought Noldor in these woods here. And I think we're going to get a Noldor army, a complete Noldor army, or at the very least we'll get as many as we can get our hands on. And I think that's going to be pretty awesome. Alright, so I don't exactly know who is better. Is Sir Alistair better than Sir Jocelyn? So I don't exactly know who's who here, but let's actually just take a quick look. Okay, so Sir Alistair is level 32, he has insane proficiencies, pretty decent combat skills, he's level 32, I said that already. Anyway, let's go over to Sir, is it Sir, no, Sir Jocelyn, isn't it? I think Sir Jocelyn is actually better. He has 5 in train, no, is he better? He's kind of, they're kind of on an even par here. I guess the reason why they complain about each other is because having both of them is quite powerful, I guess. So it might make sense for them to be a bit annoyed at each other. But anyway, there it is. The quest has been completed. I'm actually really, really pleased about that because I was really thinking how we were going to do this. Oh, we weren't at war against the Ravenstone just yet? Okay, well now we're at war against the Ravenstone. I actually think that I reduced my relation with the Ravenstone by helping the Noldor in battle against them. That's probably the reason why I saw that. Anyway, I think we're pretty good. Quest failed? Lend your companion Kasim to Duke Alexis. Why? Ah, what? I wanted to save the... well, never mind. Apparently someone else... Your relation with Farmer has deteriorated from 0 to -3? Oh, well. With all of the positives in this episode, there has to be a couple of negatives, I guess. And I won't remind you about the tournament, even though I just did. There you go. Isn't that fantastic? Okay, so I can speak to Quickfen in just a second, but I would like to speak to Sift first. See if there's anything going on there. Not much. I'm going to hire these guys as well. They will become adventurers eventually. And let's speak to him. There we go. Oh yeah, look at that. We've increased our relation from 35 to 50 with the Noldor. We gained 20 renown. And we've also advanced Anson to level 5. My friends in the woods tell me you've destroyed the Marauding Jatu, if I can speak. In addition to 3,000 dinars, I'm just excited. It's been a long time since I've been able to go into the Noldor castle. Anyway, you are now granted access to Elecray, the hidden Noldor castle on the north shore of the lake in the woods of Laria. Yes. Alright, remember you must be on good terms with the Noldor to engage me in business. I offer you 2 choices. The first is to purchase from me Noldor armor and weapons. The second is to retain Noldor adventurers to fight by your side in your quests. But doesn't that cost me a Qualis gem? Yeah, okay. That's, yeah. I don't want to do that right now. Thanks very much. Anyway, there you go. We've unlocked the Noldor city, which should be around here, and we're going to go and see it in the next episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.